Hello, and thanks for joining us for the Series 2 opener of Barely Contained, the podcast that sifts through the detritus of the very worst of the UK's online celebrity journalism. I'm Matt Withers, and as ever, I'm joined by Chris Beckett to cast our eyes over some absolute pearls of showbiz reportage, including Janet Street Porter and the mystery of who licked Daniel Craig's plate, Instababe Daphne Joy rocking the liquid metal look, why Meghan Markle's car could be a sign of an imminent constitutional crisis, parental advice from Dyer, and Coronation Street's Bill Roache spending 3 hours on the toilet. Let's go. That's right, welcome back to Barely Contained. This is the first episode of the second series, very much the second series, not the second season. It's a British podcast. Ooh. Yes, you know, that's right. And that's the booing of Chris Beckett there.
Hello.
How have you been, Chris?
Well, I can't complain. Well, actually I can, but I'm going to save it.
Okay, well, tell you what, I'll give you some stuff to complain about, and that's some really, really poor examples of online showbiz.
Oh, yes.
Going to start with a story by Jenny Desperate in the Mirror online, as I like to remind people, Hugh Cudlipp's journal. Quite the headline here. Janet Street Porter swears on live TV before admitting her goddaughter licked a plate used by Daniel Craig in bizarre anecdote.
Well, there's a lot of work going into there.
Yeah. Okay, let's crack on. Janet Street Porter swore before telling the story of a raucous birthday party where she licked a plate that Daniel Craig used in a bizarre moment on Loose Women.
Hang on. The headline said it was her goddaughter.
We'll come back to this.
She's shifting the goalposts already, Matt.
I know, we'll come back to this. The journalist
all right,
told her bizarre story to panellists Kay Adams, Stacey Solomon and Anne Diamond as the group discussed ageing and their feelings on it.
Not good, I would imagine.
Janet then launched into an anecdote about her 70th birthday party, but accidentally dropped a P-bomb when telling her story.
A P-bomb?
I'm not sure. I mean, she did hang around with Marianne Faithfull in the 1960s, so it could mean like one of any number of things.
The mind boggles.
She said, do you want the voice?
Go on.
She said, I don't feel anything about aging at all. I've had great parties when I was 50, when I was 60 and when I was 70. I'll drop the voice.
Can you do it in the voice, please?
She went on, but the actual date itself doesn't really make much difference. When I was 70, I was going to be out of the country, so I had a party in the summer in Scotland, and we were going fishing in the day, then having a piss-up at night. There's your P-bomb.
Oh, yeah.
She realised her mistake almost instantly and put her hand to her mouth, apologising, as other panellists gasped in disbelief.
Yeah, way to throw her under the bus. Can't they just, carry on?
The other women started laughing as Janet corrected her words to mean a party as she berated herself for speaking in a way that would get her told off.
I hope it was done more snappily than that sentence.
Well, I studied language at university, and sometimes I would get told off for putting in an essay with a line so grammatically perfect as to be unnatural and obvious that I'd lift it from some kind of academic tome. Anne joked her swearing was with the confidence of age, but Janet protested while giggling, saying she didn't mean to use the bad word.
The P-bomb, the bad words.
There's worse. There really are. But then she tried to swerve the blunder by telling a story about something which happened at her 50th. Johnny Rotten came along and insulted people.
About those bloody adverts.
While at her 60th, Daniel Craig stayed with her friend and became a late invitee to her birthday shindig. She said, I was serving up the Irish stew. The Irish stew in the name of the law. She keeps on swearing on TV like this, eh?
Clapper and irons.
It won't be, obviously, because Ofcom don't have criminal justice powers. I made for the main course, and my goddaughter, who was a waitress, was the only one who spotted Daniel Craig in the gloom of the village hall, which only had one plug for the lighting.
What was he doing?
Trying
to charge his phone.
Or maybe, it seems unlikely unless the party was held in, Enver Hoxha's Albania or something.
He was just trying to get into some sort of method vibe, so he thought, I'd just go into this darkened barn and brood.
He was tucked away down the end of the table, and she took his plate and went in the kitchen, the scullery of the village hall. That's a word you don't hear enough these days in tabloid papers, is it? And she went, "Is that Daniel Craig?" And she licked his plate. So I turned back to earlier in the article, Chris. The headline says her goddaughter licked a plate. The intro said that she licked a plate. So who licked the plate? Who licked the plate, Janet?
Yes, I think this needs to be answered.
I mean, does she have a goddaughter?
Probably not, to be honest.
She probably has. I mean, let's face it, probably Elton John's.
Yeah.
Has he got a... I don't know. The girls thought the whole discussion was hilarious, but fans couldn't help but pick up on Janet's awkward blunder. And it's at this point that, regular listeners expect there to be 3 tweets from people saying things about it.
How many are there?
There's none. Just says Loose Women airs weekdays from 12:30pm on ITV. So there's no evidence whatsoever that fans picked up on it. Chris, I believe you have a story about Daphne Joy. Now, I don't know this Ms. Joy, but I'm guessing some kind of wholesome CBeebies presenter.
Well, hold on to your hats. This is from the Daily Star. Daphne Joy puts sinfully slashed swimwear through its paces with bulging assets. Daphne Joy is the definition of a modern-day pin-up. The curvaceous beauty is one of social media's hottest stars, with the official Daphne Joy Instagram page being the ultimate hub of hotness.
The ultimate hub of hotness?
The ultimate hub of hotness.
The hot point.
The ultimate hub of hotness. Not the hot point. Daphne was first catapulted into the spotlight when she dated Indie Club rapper and Eminem's bestie, 50 Cent, 42. That's quite a nice juxtaposition there.
It makes it sound like the Americans once had pre-decimal currency.
Yeah.
How much is that? 50 cent, 42?
Do you think they refer to themselves as besties, Eminem and the rapper 50 Cent?
That is definitely the sort of language that they would employ amongst themselves.
The pair, not 50 and Eminem, share an adorable 5-year-old son who she regularly shares cute snaps of. Much like this journalist oversharing the use of share. Liking her musical men, she later enjoyed a brief romance with R&B crooner Jason Derulo, 28.
Crooner? Like Frank Sinatra.
Very much from the Tony Bennett school. Since splitting from her famous boyfs, the 31-year-old model has firmly gained a name in her own right.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't have a name before. I think, I'm looking here, she was woman number 47591 AX4B.
That was her Twitter handle. The stunning star boasts a whopping 1.2 million Instagram followers, and it's easy to see why with her stunning snaps. And she certainly didn't disappoint with her latest string of shots. Now, I don't know about you, Matt, but I yearn for the day where I feel a little bit let down by some of these pictures. It's never the case, is it? It's always a stunning set. They never disappoint.
They certainly set tongues a wagging.
Rocking the liquid metal trend, Daphne looks sensational in the eye-catching swimwear.
Oh, now we really need to unpack this, as they say. I mean, I don't know about you. When I think of liquid metal, I think of, you mean more advanced than you are? Yes, a mimetic polyalloy. What the hell does that mean? Liquid metal. And as people will know, that is a conversation between John Connor and the Terminator in the 1991 film Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and refers to the T-1000.
Yeah, as played very memorably by Robert Patrick.
Yes. He's gone a bit quiet of late, hasn't he?
He has been a bit. But yeah, rather than using his liquid metal capabilities for kind of evil and trying to sort of change the whole space-time continuum.
He's titillating people on Instagram.
Yeah, he's titillating people. Basically, that T1000 was very much ahead of its time in many ways, but also in the fashion stakes. The cutout Cozzy showed off her sensational curves in all their glory as her colossal cleavage pushed the seams to the brink.
To the brink? It sounds like to the verge of relegation. They've got to get Tony Pulis in.
What is this obsession with putting clothing under duress? I mean, I don't want to kind of peer too far behind the curtain of what we're bringing here, but one of the stories I rejected was about another model who had almost decimated her bikini.
And also that literally means to chop it into 10.
Daphne looked every inch the Instababe as she posed up a storm, not an actual phrase, with her hand behind pulling at her chocolate tresses.
Yeah.
Fans flocked to comment on the blisteringly hot snap of the gorgeous gal. Would you like to guess how many fans there were?
Well, I mean, firstly, I just like, is it gal, G-A-L?
G-A-L.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of gone out of fashion since Jimmy Savile, didn't it? Because people have gone off him a lot, haven't they, in recent years?
Yes. Yes, they have.
I'm going to guess that there were 3 people who commented on it.
Well, let's see if you're right. One follower praised, "So gorgeous," while another continued, "Simply amazing." A third added, "The essence of a goddess."
That's actually quite poetic compared to the usual meaningless aphorisms, isn't it?
They were later recruited to work in advertising.
Yeah.
Doing the next Calvin Klein ad.
The essence of a goddess pulling at her chocolate tresses.
With a liquid metal.
Right, Chris, I want to take you down a royal route. A literal royal route. By car. This is a story from Tom Davidson in the Mirror Online. It's called How Meghan Markle's Wedding Rolls Royce Had an Unlikely Royal Connection.
I'm intrigued.
Meghan Markle's wedding Rolls Royce was the same model that ferried US divorcee Wallis Simpson, who caused a severe constitutional crisis.
Right, that's it. Wedding's over. This whole thing is a jinx.
I know. I'm just checking. It was written by Tom Davidson and not Sarah Vine. A Rolls-Royce Phantom 4 took the new Duchess of Sussex and her mum Doria Raglan to St George's Chapel for the stunning ceremony. It's the same vehicle which took Wallis Simpson to the funeral of her husband, the Duke of Windsor, in 1972.
I can imagine this, if anyone knows of any lawful impediment to this marriage, mate, it's out there in the car park.
Yeah. Both Meghan and Mrs Simpson are American divorcees. Although the 36-year-old's marriage into the royal family has not caused a crisis at the very highest levels of government.
That's
big
string to her bow.
There's a big mid-sentence shift in tone there, isn't there? In 1936, King Edward VIII, the Queen's uncle, made clear he intended to marry Mrs Simpson, something which Parliament would not approve. In 2018, Tom Davidson and Mirror Online went onto Wikipedia and utilised the Control-C and Control-V options.
I wonder if he donated.
Yeah.
He probably didn't.
No, tell you what, you would not get that $5 for expenses these days.
Jimmy Wales is not going to be happy with him.
And so he abdicated, reigning for just 326 days, one of the shortest in British history. His younger brother George VI, yada yada yada, etc. and so on. History lesson over. Prince Harry's decision to marry former actress Meghan Markle 80 years after his great-great-uncle got married in exile. As if this isn't in any way fucking relevant.
It was all written in the tea leaves.
has been greeted with a lot less consternation.
Yeah.
Royal experts think the wedding could prove to be a turning point for the monarchy, with the Duchess of Sussex also mixed race and previously outspoken about her feminist views.
Hang on, but what royal experts have we got?
I mean, there is one guy, but He just remains so tight-lipped,
He
Chris.
just like to talk about it.
No, I'm only joking. Princess Diana's former butler, Paul Burrell, has warned that Meghan will cause ripples in the royal pond. In an interview with Good Morning Britain, Burrell, who is unlikely to have spoken to a senior member of the royal family in the past quarter century, and thus his opinion is worth considerably less than that of Stavros Flatley, said that it was... No, I added that bit in. Said that it was
It
Meghan's...
scanned well.
It did work, didn't it? Said it was Meghan's colourful past that could cause problems for some of the royals steeped in tradition. He said she is all of the things that the royal family is frightened of.
Okay.
She's a spider.
She's the living embodiment of fire.
No, he says she's mixed race. She's American. I mean, the royal family aren't afraid of Americans. That was David Bowie.
Yeah.
She's a divorcee. Well, kind of like half of them are.
That's more of a sort of tutting thing.
And that is everything that we have to embrace to move forward. Boyle also said that Diana would have loved Meghan before adding, there will be ripples in the royal pond. Yes, there will. And things will happen. But I think she's steady, she's solid, she's a good person to enter the royal family. Mate, you've never met her.
I'm glad he mentioned that she was entering the royal family. For a minute there, I thought he was describing a new Burnley centre-half. Steady, solid, commands the line well.
And she's a good person to play alongside James Tarkowski.
Yeah, good in the air.
I won't.
Any more?
I mean, there is, but I mean, he's a tawdry man, isn't he? He is a tawdry man.
And Matt, following on there from the royal tale, we have a story about Love Island. Now, I know you're going to be watching this.
Yeah, Love Island. I mean, I think of it as the summer survival of the fittest.
Very much. Love Island 2018. EastEnders Danny Dyer gives daughter his blessing to have sex on TV.
Nice.
Love Island 2018 contestant Danny Dyer. This is something I'm going to have to get in quite early doors. Danny Dyer's daughter is also called Danny, but Danny with an I.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Danny with like a letter I, she's not like a cyclops.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, they probably wouldn't put her on the show.
No.
Love Island 2018 contestant Danny Dyer has revealed her EastEnders star dad, Danny, has given her permission to do the deed on the Roache ITV2 programme, but the 21-year-old barmaid has promised to behave herself.
Danny Dyer would not say do the deed. Danny Dyer would say have a bit of how's your father.
Give it away, love. EastEnders actor Danny Dyer has given his daughter Danny his blessing to have sexual intercourse on national television. Now, daughter,
we've got to have a conversation here.
I'm giving you my assent for you to have intercourse
on ITV2.
Danny, 21, claims her laid-back father is fine with her getting steamy on the ITV2 dating show Love Island, which returns on Monday. My dad has given his blessing to have sex, the barmaid said, but I'm not going to, though. Explaining why Danny, 40, has given her his approval, she added, he said that because he doesn't want me to worry and wants to put me at ease. He is so laid back. Now, Matt, I don't know about you, but I've thought many times in my life I've been on the cusp of a sexual adventure and I've imagined, would Danny Dyer approve of this? And it's really, it's really influenced my decision making. If I fall in love, he will cry too. He is like, whatever you have got to do, go and do it. The aspiring actress also admitted her famous dad was not happy when she told him she planned to star in the new series. So, not happy, but happy with her engaging in intercourse.
Yeah, I'm not happy with you doing it, but if you're doing it, just...
just go for a hammer and tongs, love. Red button it.
It's go hard or go home for the Dyers.
He wasn't overjoyed, but he said to me, I just want you to respect yourself, she told the Mirror.
Respect yourself. Go and have sex on ITV2 for your old dad.
Respect yourself, it's one-on-one. However, it was her grandmother who encouraged her to do Love Island. She said, "I spoke to my nan and she said, go and have 8 weeks in Mallorca. Go and enjoy yourself. My nan watches the show. She said, just be respectful."
Keep your socks on.
Basically, think of the Queen. They're like the modern day Cray family. "I know everyone says they wouldn't, but I just don't think I would." She continued, "If anyone has sex, I don't care. But my dad is in the industry, and I have to respect the fact that anything that comes at me will also be coming at him."
Oh!
It's an interesting turn of phrase.
Just repeat that again.
If anyone has sex, I don't care. But my dad is in the industry, and I have to respect the fact that anything that comes at me will be also be coming at him.
Oh, dear.
Also on the red button. Speaking ahead of her appearance on the show, she said, "I'm looking for someone really genuine. In past relationships, I've had so many mind games going on, and I want someone who bigs me up as much as I big them up." Going on a show where people are encouraged to have sex on camera is always a good place, I think, to look for a real genuine partner.
Yeah.
"I like paying compliments, and I would like the same in return," she stated. When asked what her worst date was, she replied, "My most disastrous date was when a boy told the waitress who my dad was. We were sitting there and he tapped the waitress on the shoulder and said, 'Do you know who her dad is?' She explained, 'This guy was really fit, a gorgeous rugby player. He told the waitress again when we walked out. That's when he saw the other side of me, and I unfollowed him on Instagram.'"
Oh, it's the ultimate millennial punishment, isn't it?
You can't do worse than that, being unfollowed.
Oh, God, man, going out for a date with this boy and all he keeps saying, "Oh, have you got any behind-the-scenes tales from Essex's Most Tasty Boys 3?
Just tell me more about your dad. Tell me. Love Island returns to ITV on June the 4th at 9 p.m.
Oh, sadly, I think we'll probably end up coming back to it, won't we?
I would imagine so. So, Matt, from one tale of young men and young women getting naked, maybe getting their old chaps out, you have a tale of another old chap.
Yes.
That's a really tenuous one. I apologise.
This is from the Sun Online, and we'll close our opener of Series 2 with "I'm Then Barlow." Coronation Street's Ken Barlow admits he meditates on the toilet for up to 3 hours at a time. Corrie legend Bill Roache has revealed he meditates on the toilet for up to 3 hours. The spiritual 86-year-old who plays Ken Barlow in the ITV soap also insisted he's going to live to 107.
Well, why should we doubt him?
It's incredibly specific, isn't it? It's also a very tricky finish in darts. Coronation Street's Ken Barlow, a.k.a. the actor Bill Roache. I think we've got it now. I think we get who these two people are and which is real and which isn't. Advises meditation as a way of putting all life's worries behind you. Mm-hmm. Explaining how quiet contemplation on the loo can beat stress, he said, "Meditation might sound complicated or alien."
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. But it is a discipline. You find a place in your home where you won't be bothered. It might be the loo. If it's the loo...
It is the loo.
If it's the loo, use it. Sit there and balance your breathing. Bill Roache has revealed he got to a point where he could sit on the toilet for up to 3 hours at a time.
I've got one word for Bill. Piles.
Yeah, I've got something else I found as well. "I think about the waves on the seashore coming in and going out. You leave all your worldly goods outside. Mm-hmm. I go into a peaceful state. I feel wonderful. I got to a point where I could sit for 3 hours."
Until there's that knock on the door. Bill, get out!
You were supposed to be back on set 2.5 hours ago.
I need a wee.
I also I remember a story from our little break from the Sun Online as well about a chap in China who spent too long playing video games on his phone while on the loo, and his rectum fell out.
Yeah.
So that's something for Bill to remember. Doctors told the unnamed Chinese victim that spending too much time sitting on the toilet can weaken the pelvic muscles. So the headline in this Sun story was "I'm Zen Barlow." Do you want to have a guess for what the name of this unfortunate Chinese gentleman playing the games was?
No.
It's Splash Bandicoot.
Wow, how sympathetic.
I quite like that, although it does require one to be au fait with a video game released around about 2001.
Yeah, it's a little bit tenuous, but you know.
Anyway, I think that'll wrap up our return. I think we've had a good one, Chris.
Yeah, I'm very happy that we've come back.
Yeah, I'm pumped up
for our sophomore season series.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, second series.
Second thing.
Hey, so don't forget to follow us on Twitter at
barely_pod.
And you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, on Android or wherever else. And all things being well, and we don't take another unplanned lengthy break, we'll be back in a couple of weeks for episode 2. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Matt.
Bye.
Bye.